Little Miss Recap contains adult language. Little Miss Recap is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hi, everyone. Please be aware that in this episode, we talk about disordered eating and a lot of other very triggering issues around food and diet culture. So if you're not in the headspace for that, you might want to skip this one. I also just want to, thank all of you for listening to this episode because this is a really hard conversation to have. Amanda and I are both very personally vested in this issue and we rage a lot, and you really give us a safe space to talk about how we feel. And I just want to thank all of you for listening and the support that you show us when we do episodes like this. So please enjoy Fit for TV, the story of the biggest loser. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Little Miss Recap. My name's Amy.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning, Amy. How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, I'm in a rage.
You're in a rage and you're in an allergy hell I'd say of your own making, but no, this is the environment's making.
I'm trying to figure out, and maybe some backdoor friends can help me. I'm trying to figure out what is triggering this so badly. Like, we had our entire house opened up yesterday. I thought that was okay. Maybe what happened yesterday, right?
Sure.
Around 2:00 yesterday, I closed the entire house up and have not stepped foot outside since.
Do you have any HEPA filters?
We do in our Geo.
Okay.
And they're re-washable. So Timmy takes them out. He
Okay.
washes them. He puts them back in. So I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. We live with a lot of HEPA filters because Todd has lots of allergies. So all of the rooms have HEPA filters, which is not something I'd never had in my life.
Yeah.
Pre-Todd.
Maybe I need to get some more of those.
Yeah. He has one in our bedroom that I think makes a big difference.
Okay.
And then he has one in the other bedroom, and then one in the living room, and then an old one, which he didn't love because it made a lot of noise. It was in our bedroom. Now it lives in the kitchen, and it's set to only go off if there's something happening.
I am willing to try anything at this point.
Yeah.
I sleep with the humidifier every night. And I normally don't do Benadryl because I know everyone's told me it's terrible for me, but I'm doing a Benadryl right now because I can't sleep otherwise. So I'm doing a Benadryl at night. I switched from like one allergy pill to the other. You know how they say to do that once in a while?
Yeah.
So now I'm on, I think it's Zyrtec. I forget.
Zyrtec is the only one that has ever worked for me. I did Claritin. I did Allegra. Zyrtec is the only one, and I take it right before bed every night.
So maybe that's it. Maybe I just need to start taking it at night because I'm taking it in the morning.
It also, I don't know if it would still, because I've been on it literally for 25 years, taking it every day.
Yeah.
For 25 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I found at first that it would make me a little sleepy, which is why I started taking it at night.
Well, that's the Benadryl helps me sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it wasn't so much to help me sleep. It was because in the morning I would feel a little loopy.
Yeah.
Taking it. So I was like, I'll just take it and then, every night.
Well, and then I'm doing a prescription nose spray in between.
Awesome.
So we got 5 forms of allergy containment over here.
Nice.
What I think is happening is we have not, and nobody cares about this, but I'll take one more minute, I promise. We've got no rain for like a month. And dust is very high.
Yeah,
and
we've
I
gotten
think
very
dust
limited rain.
might be my allergen.
Okay.
I don't know.
Have
I
you
know
done-
trees and grass are, but I think dust is too.
Have you done allergy testing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you done it recently?
No, I did it right after I had the girls.
You should do it again.
Yeah.
It's been 18 years. Like I told you, before I met Todd, he was deathly allergic to cats. Retested not long after meeting me. Not allergic to cats anymore.
I should do it, especially, while I have health insurance.
While you have really good health insurance, go do that.
Get it done. Yeah, it's true. All right, Amanda, we're here today to talk about the Biggest Loser documentary, which I need some of your overall thoughts on the documentary itself.
It was better than I was expecting because you told me it wasn't good.
Okay.
So I went in with real low expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I found the stories compelling of people's experiences of it.
Yeah, me too.
I find the lack of Jillian Michaels or whatever the hell her name is. I hate all of these people. So
She's a nightmare.
So I don't even want to remember their names because I hate them all so much.
Yeah.
I found the lack of her to be interesting, but I know that there's a lot of drama around her and the show and all sorts of things, so I get it. I am enraged for what this show did to a generation of people.
Me too. And I feel like my criticism with the documentary is that it just feels like I just said to you before we signed on. I don't feel like if I never watched The Biggest Loser that I would know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't give an overview of how the show worked.
Yeah.
And they didn't talk about its cultural place the way that I wanted them to. Like I felt like there were just these random narratives.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like it was cohesive. And this is Skye Borgman, and she usually, like, she did Abducted in Plain Sight.
Yeah, she usually knocks him out of the park.
She did Girl in the Picture.
Yeah.
What else did she do? I think that's what we know.
She's done a lot of our
most
favorite
for.
ones.
Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff, and we normally really like her stuff. But Murdered and Missing in Montana, she did. I don't know. I just felt like this needed to be a little tighter, but I'm so picky with that stuff.
I know you are.
It was enraging. It was enraging to me.
It's enraging. I want to hug all of these people who were literally tortured on national television.
Yep.
For America's entertainment. Like this felt to me like modern day gladiators. We're throwing people in a pit with a bunch of fucking lions and then laughing at them.
I also want to tell everyone right up front that you and I are coming from the perspective of two fat people.
Yes.
We are not going to go easy on this show. So if you're like a Big Loser fan and you're showing up like, oh, I remember, I love that show so much, you might want to go over to somebody else's coverage.
You might want to go, I don't know, put on one of our murder shows.
Because this one's not going to be it.
This is not going to be good. Now, did you watch the show when it was on?
So as we've discussed, I worked for a local television affiliate at the time.
Right.
And yes, so I watched just a few seasons. I remember maybe one or two. And it wasn't that I was religiously watching it.
Right.
It was just in my zeitgeist,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like I could not tell you one contestant from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I remember it being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember Jillian. I remember Bob. I remember when Bob had his heart attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember when Bob had the heart attack because that made national news.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a big deal.
Yep.
I've told you, and I mentioned before, it was part of the zeitgeist. I knew about the show. People talked about it. It was like it was absolutely a water cooler, coffee pot show in the morning at work. People were chatting about it all the time. They thought it was great. What these people were doing was amazing. And a friend urged me to watch it. And I watched one episode. And I had forgotten what it was that triggered me so much until I watched this. And it was the food challenge.
Yeah.
And I watched 10 minutes of it. And I had a full-on panic attack. I was sobbing. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I was so angry. I felt personally humiliated. I felt humiliated for the people on television. And I knew people were laughing at it. And as a fat person, nothing about that food challenge is a human normal experience.
No.
It's just done to mock and make people look bad.
Yeah, I
turned it off and never turned it on again. And the next day I told my friend, I'm like, that was one of the most disgusting, disturbing things I have ever seen on television. And she basically laughed at me for being so upset about it.
No. One of the things that I really appreciate that Skye Borgman thought to do was to include the voice of Aubrey Gordon in this. Yes.
Our girl. And you're right. She looks fantastic. I love the hair.
Because she is contextualizing this for us in the culture. And Aubrey just has, if you guys haven't listened to Maintenance Phase, do it now. Shut this off and go do it right now.
Yeah, it's an infinitely better podcast than ours because it deals with more serious topics, even in a funny way, but not infinitely. It's just very, very different than our podcast.
And the thing that Aubrey Gordon is so good at is articulating exactly what things were meant to message. Mm-hmm. And she does it so well here.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I was so grateful for her voice.
I was grateful for the voice of a fat person who isn't coming at it from the I am still in weight loss diet culture world.
Yes.
Because a lot of these people still are.
Yes, I agree.
And she's the one who is, one of the big goals of Maintenance Phase is to rip apart the idea that we can starve ourselves into perfection.
Yeah. Yeah. Maintenance Phase fundamentally changed my relationship with my body.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
So The Biggest Loser, this is from Wikipedia, is an American competition reality show that ran on NBC for 17 seasons from 2004 to 2016 before moving to the USA Network in 2020. So each season starts the 30-week competition with a weigh-in to determine the contestants' starting weights, which serves as a baseline for determining the overall winner. So it's 30 weeks long. The contestants are grouped into teams of 3, each wearing separate colored t-shirts. Depending on the season, a team may work with a specific trainer, or all trainers may work with all contestants. The trainers are responsible for designing workout and nutrition plans and teaching them to the contestants, which is where the whole thing goes awry.
Real big time.
However, the contestants are individually responsible for implementing the principles taught. Okay, so during an episode, various challenges and temptations are featured. So some of those may be the temptation challenge, where the temptation usually requires contestants to gamble by eating or drinking delicious but high-calorie foods in exchange for what may seem to be a beneficial trade-off. So on the documentary, we saw them like in a room with pastries and donuts, and they're like having to put them in their mouth, and it's horrible.
It's horrific.
The reward challenge. Contestants compete to win a prize. So the prizes range from immunity to exercise equipment, from phone calls home or weight prizes, stuff like that.
Right.
There's the...
How fucked up is it that you can't call home? What the fuck?
I know.
These fucking monsters.
I know. So those who win these challenges are given special privileges or even full immunity from being voted off. So voted off, you might ask. Yes, they're voted off.
Right. By their peers.
Each week culminates in another weigh-in to determine which team has lost the most for that week and a percentage. And the team that has lost the least percentage during that week, known as falling below the yellow line, okay, will have one member voted off. The vote is usually made by the other teams, though some episodes feature one team making the decision alone. So and then at the end, whoever loses the most is declared the biggest loser. That's an overview of what the show is.
I'm already dialed up to an 11. Fuck these people. This is disgusting. This is sick.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So this is Fit for TV, the reality of The Biggest Loser, as we said, directed and done by Skye Borgman.
Available on Netflix.
Yes. So we meet Danny Hill. He is our initial narrator. Mm-hmm. And he was on Biggest Loser season 8. Now, none of these people I know because they're all on the later episodes or seasons.
I liked him.
I liked him too.
The people I liked. The contestants I liked. Like, for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's David Broom that I have a problem with.
Okay.
Danny talks about realizing he was fat in 3rd grade and how that's been a monkey on his back forever. He was in a promising local band, which I always say is a t-shirt that I want to get made. Promising local band. He has lost 1,000 pounds over the last 20 years. Losing, gaining. I remember, Amanda, one of the episodes of Maintenance Phase that really just floored me was this episode they did about, and they had all these scientific studies to support their claims, of course. This episode about binge, dieting, extreme dieting. Help me. What's the word?
Compulsive dieting.
Yeah, whatever. And how that destroys your body.
Yes.
So like, if I'd never started dieting at 16, would I have just gotten to like, an appropriate weight?
Right. Would my body have reached some level of stasis?
And have kind of stayed there.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But yo-yo dieting. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I wonder that too.
It's so fascinating to me, that episode. And I remember, and I kind of thought about that with Danny, because he's like, I've lost 1,000 pounds and gained it back and lost it and gained it, whatever.
I bet I have too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
All told in my life, I probably have lost and gained 1,000 pounds.
He talked about taking his kids to the fair and how he couldn't get on the roller coaster with them. And most fat people have moments like this.
Oh, yeah.
I had it with my kids. I remember very distinctly thinking, I'm not even going to try to get on that roller coaster.
Yep. Yeah. You're always eyeing up things to see, like, am I going to be able to fit in?
Am I going to fit?
And if there's a doubt, you just step out because you don't want the humiliation of not.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he felt like he was missing life. And he says, I started watching The Biggest Loser. I was turned off by it. But then I realized these were real people with real stories. And I wanted to try it. Now we meet dickbag David Broom.
Oh,
he is the executive
God.
producer.
This motherfucker.
Amanda, he was at the gym.
Oh, poor boo-boo.
And there was a note from somebody saying, please help me. Please help me. This reminds me so much of, and I write about it in Fat Girl Skinny, Richard Simmons' story, how somebody left a note on his car that said, please lose weight, like we don't want you to die.
Right.
Who is leaving these notes?
Yeah, what is happening? I've never left a note like this, nor would it occur to me to leave a note like this.
Well, this note said, obese person seeking trainer, please help me save my life. Okay.
Well, you know what, dude? I don't know. Instead of leaving like a rando note in a gym, go find a trainer.
Yeah. So now we meet JD Roth. Do you remember JD Roth?
No.
Okay, this was a core memory unlocked. The
Okay.
minute I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I know that guy. He hosted a show called Funhouse
Oh.
from 1988 to 1991. It's only 2 seasons.
Right.
And it was on Fox, and it was like geared towards kids.
Yes, I remember the show. I didn't remember the guy, but I remember the name of the show. And
so I was like 11.
I was 88 to 91. I was in high school, so I wasn't watching that.
Yeah, I remembered him. The minute I saw him, I'm like, oh, he hosted something. He's a host. You're a host, dude. Calm down. So he said, you're going to die. Or he said, I wrote, you're going to die when I tell you this, but I remember this guy. JD Roth says, imagine a show with a scale as the main character.
Okay.
No, a scale has been the main character in my life for 48 years. No, thank you. Well, maybe not 48, but 40.
I don't have to imagine it, but I was starting putting on a scale outside of just your regular doctor's appointment that all kids go to for that height weight chart. I started being put on a scale regularly at 6. Dude, I don't need a scale as like a leading lady in my life. Thank you very much.
And then he says, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Can you get back parts of your life? And can you do it the old-fashioned way, like with hard work? Fuck off. What is he talking about?
The ever-loving motherfuck of you.
It's the old-fashioned way, Amanda. It's, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh. Here's the problem, guys. This is the problem. You have 2 people like this behind this concept of this show.
Right.
Where are the fat people? Where are people who are trained to work with obese people? Where are people who are credentialed in this field or just have lived this experience?
Where's a fucking therapist?
Where's a woman?
Where's a woman? Where is a therapist? I saw a meme years and years ago, and it fucking changed my life. And it said something to the effect of, you will never meet someone who has worked as hard as a chronic dieter.
Yes.
And the idea from these motherfuckers that people wind up as fat people because they haven't tried to do a fucking thing about it is some of the most offensive and enraging thing I have ever heard. I hate these people. Within 5 minutes, I wanted to burn them all to the ground.
It's like when people feel and
this might not be our funniest podcast. I'm just going to say that right now.
It's like when people feel like they need to tell you that you're fat,
right,
for your health. It's like, you think I don't know?
Right.
Yeah.
Please. Or the fact that, find me circa 1992 dressing in almost literal tents because I was like, well, if my clothes look really big on my body, no one will notice that I'm fat.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It's ridiculous. So Broom and Roth were nervous America would not accept this. Would they want to see a mirror in front of their face?
No, what America loves to do is to find people who are disadvantaged and mock them. So America was in like Flynn.
I hate these 2 men.
I hate these 2 men.
So the first episode is interspliced with video submissions from hopefuls wanting to be on the show. One of them is Ryan. He's a secret eater, and he believed being on the show would help him to not keep secrets. I told you, I wrote about this in Fat Girl Skinny. I used to have to lock my purse in my trunk so that I would not drive through a McDonald's on the way home when I was in my full binge eating disorder
When I was
situation.
in my full binge eating disorder, I would leave events, go eat an entirely different meal, and then throw the trash out my car window so no one knew. Like,
but it wasn't because we loved being fat. It was because something
I was in so much
broken
pain
inside. Right.
that I was trying so hard.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was an actor, and he says his size interfered with him getting jobs, and he liked reality TV anyway. You know, he liked Jersey Shore, which... and he don't even...
If Jersey Shore is your gateway into the fucking Biggest Loser, wow.
Listen.
Wow.
Listen, I have a complicated relationship with Jersey Shore.
And I never watched it.
Okay. I watched it, and I internalized all that misogyny.
Oh, okay.
And it was a real problem for me. And I look back on it now, and the contestants, the people who were on it have kind of, I don't know, I have a soft spot for them. I think they realized what a problem it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But at the time, man, woof, take a feminist look at that show. Ugh.
And to be fair, I wouldn't want to go back and see a reality show based on my life when I was 22 years old.
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
It wouldn't be good.
I'm sure some of them are still bad, but
I'm sure, but
you know. All right, so Ryan is cast on season 1. We have trainers Jillian Michaels and dickbag Bob Harper.
oh, Jesus
What is he doing? Why is he sitting there like he is on some kind of weird throne?
He thinks he's the star of the show. He thinks everything he did was wonderful and helpful and kind, and I wanted to punch this guy in his very punchable face.
Because you are nicer than Jillian Michaels is not a bar to measure yourself against.
No, and he wasn't nice to begin with.
Right. He was just nicer than her.
Right.
Which she was a monster.
As I say all the time, just because like Hitler existed doesn't mean Jeffrey Dahmer was a good guy. Like, people can all be really bad.
Yes.
And just because one of you isn't quite as bad as the other doesn't make you good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Bob was sort of soft compared to Jillian. Jillian was very militaristic in her approach. Jillian was a nuisance to society. She was a public enemy.
Yeah, she was terrible.
Caroline Ray was the host of seasons 1 to 3. Forgot about that.
I totally forgot about her.
Mm-hmm. The first season, they're clearly working stuff out. You can tell. Like, they don't really know what this show is.
I mean, to be fair, none of these, like, you look at Survivor season 1 versus Survivor today, it's an entirely different show because it didn't know what it was doing yet.
The first season, they're like so they do the temptation challenges throughout, but they're most gross in the first few seasons because they're having them carry stuff in their mouths and stuff, and they didn't do that in later seasons. Broom is like, people thought this would be nasty and make fun of fat people, but that's not what we're doing. We're fixing them because they're broken.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I needed someone to fix me because I'm broken.
So Ryan says the weight loss was real. He said he lost focus of getting healthy and just became obsessed with winning, which is what happens when you gamify a weight loss process.
Yes. Yes. Or if you go through the experience I did quite often of you can have this thing that you want if you lose weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
A pair of jeans, a car.
I told you my dad offered me $500 if I lost weight when I was in college.
Car.
Yeah. Yeah. So the finale was live and you won $250,000 if you won. And Ryan wins and he lost like 122 pounds. But he says, I was super unhealthy. I didn't eat for 10 days.
All he was doing was that remember that fucking master cleanse? That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
That's one thing I probably never tried. I say I tried everything in my life. That's probably one of the few things I never tried.
We don't need to.
No, it's disgusting.
At the final weigh-in, they did a urine test and there was blood in his urine. That's how fucked up his body was.
I'm sure it was.
Jillian hugs him and says, thank you, honey. You just made me a millionaire.
Wow.
Bob Harper says, look, we are all obsessed with our looks and our bodies. He says, I grew up in diet culture is basically what he's telling us. He's like, I came about in LA. Fitness was cutthroat.
Yep.
And even, I don't mean to name drop here, but Julia Roberts came into my
And he had to make
studio.
sure to be like, pretty era woman.
Yeah, like when she was young and pretty.
When she was young and hot.
Not now that she's an old spinster.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's still fucking hot.
Bob liked the concept because he was used to... Now, this part, I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I was used to working with already thin people who wanted to be so much thinner. And it felt rewarding to want to work or to work with people who wanted to change their lives.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm fine with that statement.
Fine.
What you
Aubrey
did to
Gordon.
them to do that, not good.
No.
But
Aubrey Gordon in the house. Looking fabulous.
our girl has arrived.
She says the show sends the message that nothing you do in your entire life will be celebrated as much as getting thin.
Correct.
No notes.
No
10
notes.
out of 10.
12 out of 10. True words have never been spoken.
She does say that she believes that a lot of people were inspired by the show.
Mm-hmm.
And that initially this was an open space for fat people to connect. So we were talking about weight.
Yes.
In a way that we never had before. Kind of taking it out of the shadows,
yes,
if you will.
I agree. And that's, I think having conversations about it is a good thing. I think if the conversation is solely focused on changing it without understanding it, it's a bad thing.
Yeah. Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. JD Roth, we were not looking for fat people who were happy.
No, we want miserable fat people.
We needed you miserable fatties.
Right.
Who were like ready to just die, roll over and die. That's who we want.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we meet Joelle Gwynn. She's from season 7. She was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and eaten some McDonald's when she saw someone she knew from college on a previous season of Biggest Loser. And she says he looked happy. He looked healthier.
Okay.
Allison Sweeney hosted seasons 4 to 16. Now, do you know who she is?
She was on a soap opera. I forget which one, though.
Ironically, she was on Days of Our Lives.
Okay. I knew it
She
was a
was
soap
Sammy
opera
Brady.
I watched, but I couldn't remember which
She was
one.
Marlena Roman's daughter.
Okay.
And ironically, the storyline I remember her most from
Was
is
losing
when
weight?
she was obsessed with Austin, and her sister Carrie, who was much thinner than her, was Austin's girlfriend, and her storyline was all about needing to lose weight to get Austin. So I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Why are you perpetuating this? Okay. And to be fair, Allison Sweeney was not a size 0 when she was on Days of Our Lives. She also wasn't a size 22. She was
Right.
probably like a 10.
Right.
So they gave her the fat storyline,
Of course. Because if you're, back in those days on a soap opera, if you were 10, you were, you may as well been having to be pulled out of your house in a crane, Gilbert Grape mom style.
Yes. Yes. But did you feel that she never really, we couldn't really tell how she felt about any of this? She
No.
said nothing.
No, she didn't really say nothing until it felt like she realized at the very end that this had gone way too far. But girl, there's a lot of steps between where you started and the realization that it had gone way too far. I realized it had gone way too far at about step 2. You got to about step 90
Yeah.
before you realized, oh, maybe this isn't cool.
She was giving very politician answers.
Yeah.
And I don't know why she was even here then.
She didn't serve a purpose.
So Tracy from season 8 says she was an overweight mom. Her story was tough.
I liked Tracy a lot.
I did too.
I
Yeah.
wanted to, I felt,
And she's still in it.
I know.
She's still in it.
She's still totally in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt she was a kindred spirit. I felt I understood her.
Yeah, I agree. She was an overweight mom. She said, she tried not to acknowledge her weight to her daughters, and she cries and says she was really hoping that this would fix her life, her marriage, everything. Again, and we even saw this, just to touch back to what we were talking about earlier in the week on this show, Plathville. We saw this in Plathville when Micah cheated on Veronica. Veronica thought it was her fault. It was a deficiency in her.
And what she looked like.
Right. And Veronica's a beautiful woman. So you
Correct.
could imagine what it feels like to be 20. When I was 22 years old, I was almost 300 pounds.
Yep.
You think if somebody's cheating on you, they're not treating you well. Well, clearly the answer is that I'm fat.
I've legit had people say to me in my life, because of a bad relationship, it wouldn't have happened if you weren't fat.
Yeah. Yeah. So she believes that her bad marriage and her, everything that's wrong in her life is because of her weight.
Sure.
They're chosen, the people who are chosen go to California and they have to sign a huge packet of paperwork. And when Joelle wanted an attorney, they were like, well, we have 10 people who are going to take your spot. So if you want to take some time and get an attorney, go ahead. But can't guarantee you're going to be on the show.
Okay. So you and I have both purchased houses.
We have.
You sign a fuck ton of paperwork.
You do.
In that process. Your hand's tired by the end.
Yep.
When I bought my house, my husband at the time, now ex-husband, was a lawyer. So he's like, we're going to read all of this. Mm-hmm. And he got to about page 3 and he was like, we're not going to read all this. Because that is all boilerplate. It is the same paperwork. Yes. It has been litigated to within an inch of its life for any problems that might exist in it.
Correct.
This is literally a contract where I am putting my health and my life in your hands. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me, I might want to read that. And you're like, no, you don't have time for that. Yeah. Because they didn't want people to read it.
No.
They didn't want
people to know. Because it was basically like, we could murder you. You could die.
They didn't want people to know what they were signing up for. And they didn't also want to know all of the liability that these people were removing from themselves for it. Because you signed the contract.
Agree.
Oh, fuck these people.
So now we see the temptation challenges, and there's one in which you're offered a chance to go home and visit with your family for like 15, 20 minutes, whatever. Wow. Aubrey Gordon is like, this is fucked up.
You're like fucking Hunger Games.
You're told you have to eat the most food here. So the challenge is to eat the most, but to still lose weight. Wow.
We're going to tell you to do the thing that will keep you from accomplishing the thing that helps you win.
It's wild. So Bob says this is fucking stupid. And I wrote, thank you, JD Roth and Broom. Mm-hmm. Roth and Broom are like, this is real life. You pass by cupcakes. You pass by. Aubrey Gordon's like, no. So Aubrey Gordon is here to tell us what these ideas, the temptation room, the hidden cameras, the camera work, etc., are meant to convey. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you, Aubrey.
She says the temptation room is fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
She says she has been fat all her life and never encountered a room of unadulterated food.
No, I have never walked into a room where there is so much food and I am being encouraged to eat all of it. And the more I eat of it, this isn't real life.
She says
by any stretch of the imagination.
She says this reinforces the idea that fat people cannot be trusted around food.
Yep.
It's designed to make you judge these people based on decisions they will make in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a scene where a woman falls off parallel bars and the camera shakes to indicate an earthquake.
Fuck
we see a lot of scenes like this.
I know.
Including an ad for Late Night with Jimmy Kimmel, which we see you, Jimmy Kimmel. What are you doing?
You're making fun of this.
Yeah.
It is, the cruelty of this is so it's so out of, I can't even conceive of how cruel this is.
Well, one of the things that really, to me, was the worst optic was you have these hidden cameras filming their workouts. So all these people are working out and Bob and Jillian are on their couch watching it and screaming yes or no. And I'm like, here are two very thin people watching a bunch of fat people exercise and screaming about it.
Yes.
This encapsulates like everything.
Everything that's wrong with this whole situation.
Yep. I wrote the optics of this are wild. Mm-hmm. Joelle says, they were making fun of us. We were losers to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
The biggest loser isn't the person who wins. You are all the biggest losers. Because you are a loser if you wind up here.
Yeah. Bob says, you have to remember, Amanda, this was primetime television.
No, well, sure. We got to make it interesting.
Yeah. Jillian is awful. We see her screaming at people, are you puking? You're not puking. That's fake puke. Come on. Get back on that fucking treadmill. And people are puking.
Why on earth do you think it's a good idea to work people to the point that they are vomiting? And that's something to be celebrated.
Now we meet Dr. H. What were your thoughts on Dr. H? Because I went back and forth on him a little bit.
I was real conflicted on him. I think he sees the error of his ways.
I do too. I thought he was a bad guy at first, especially since we saw him testifying in the OJ trial. I'm like, what is happening here?
Right. I think he saw the error of his ways. I think he thinks some parts of it were good. I think he has a ton of regret and shame about not being more present.
I agree.
And exerting his expertise more than he was able to.
I agree. So he says...
But also, all he wants to do is help people lose weight.
Yeah. So. He says at first he was okay, but and let me just be very clear. If somebody wants to lose weight and somebody's offering to help them lose weight, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. You can do it without the exploitation, the craziness, the reinforcement of terrible ideas. Like, you can do it in a healthy environment.
Yep.
So he says at first it was okay, but as the show went on, I was not happy with what was happening. He said the problem was and this was a good point, and I'd forgotten about this. The first season, people were like 200 to 300 pounds.
Yes.
Then they started casting people around 400 to 600 pounds.
That's when it gets real fucked up and gets real fucking dangerous what you're doing to these people.
And the problem was they were applying the same exercise principles and stuff to these people. And he says it was dangerous. He says sometimes they did challenges and stuff that he didn't see.
Yeah.
And he says you can't have a show based on weight loss that's safe.
No, you can't. No. You cannot have a competition show based on weight loss that is safe.
Now we get this story about Tracy, who pretty much dies on the beach.
Oh my God, Amy. And still goes back on the fucking show.
They drop all these people off on season 8 onto a beach in California when it is hot in the middle of the day. And they want them to run a mile on the beach. Amanda, I went to Rehoboth Beach with my mother this year. I struggled to walk on the sand when it was hot. Because walking on sand is hard.
It's hard. Walking on sand is really fucking hard. It's part of why I hate the beach. And it has not mattered in my life if I've been in great shape or shitty shape. It is hard to walk on sand.
Same. I'm probably thinner now that I've been in a long time.
Yes.
And I still can't do it.
Yes.
No.
I can do it, but it's very uncomfortable, and I can do it for very
it's
limited
hard.
periods of time.
Yeah, like the next day my legs were sore.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. So these people, completely out of shape, haven't worked out, whatever. They just drop them on the beach and like, hey, run for our amusement.
It's like fucking
Tracy
gladiators.
She collapses.
Yeah.
And she has to be medevaced out of there.
She saw the fucking light.
And JD Roth's like, nobody expected this to happen. Well,
what?
Really?
I could have told you this was going to happen.
No one expected this to happen, yet you had them sign a waiver that says, they could die. If
this happens, not our fault?
Yeah. And then I wrote, Dr. H testified for O.J. Simpson? What's going on?
Why do we have to have an O.J. Simpson?
He was a trainer for the Raiders, so I think he was talking about O.J.'s...
His experience with O.J. as a football player.
Jesus. So Dr. H tells us that they wanted a doctor who would understand sometimes you got to play hurt. He's talking about when he was a trainer for the Raiders.
Okay.
He wrote a book, and that movie became Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was the Any Given Sunday guy. And I got to tell you, the casting of Matthew Molina as him, pretty good.
Not bad.
Not bad. Though he's had a lot of plastic surgery. He kind of looks like Rob Lowe in the movie about Liberace when he's just had such a ridiculous amount of plastic surgery that you're like, if I touched you, it wouldn't feel human anymore.
He was Charlie Sheen's personal doctor.
Wow. Well, we needed that when we were on Fixing Famous People.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
The Biggest Loser calls him and they're like, how much weight can you get people to lose? And he says, well, I've done this before. Like, we've had issues with our 400-pound linemen.
Yeah.
They were exercising so rigorously that they could eat whatever they wanted, but they were still losing weight. So exercise is the key. Mm-hmm. That's what he's thinking. Okay.
Yeah. And I understand how he got there.
So the question then becomes, is it possible for an overweight, sedentary person to work out with the intensity of a professional athlete? Hi, I'm here to tell you no.
No. Not in a healthy way.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
these linebackers are elite athletes.
They've been athletes most of their lives.
Even if they're weighing 300 and 400 pounds.
Right. That's not what we're not getting out of this.
Elite athletes.
A lot of these people played college football. They played high school football.
They've been active their whole lives. They play football every week.
Mm-hmm.
There are some football players, and I'm going to maybe hopefully say the right thing. There are some football players who don't run a lot because their whole job is to just knock into people and knock them over.
The linemen.
The
Yes.
linemen.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean they're not in great shape.
Right. They're still at practice.
Yes.
Running around.
Yes.
You don't take a defensive lineman and not have him do anything and then just
throw
put
him
him on the line.
line.
So now back to Tracy dead on the beach. Her organs are shutting down. I don't mean to laugh, but like, this is wild. It's wild.
This is fucking wild. And she went
And
back.
it's not funny. It's scary, but
just the way you said it.
Yeah, the way I said it. She had something called rhabdomyolysis.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Yeah, basically it's a condition where damaged muscle tissue breaks down, releasing contents into the bloodstream. Like you could die. She was dying.
She was dying.
Her organs were shutting down.
Yes.
It started with her liver, then her kidneys, then her heart. And Dr. H says she was incredibly ill.
Yes. I have to think, like, had she not been in LA where she had access to incredible medical care, she would have been dead.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, put her in some, like, middle of nowhere.
Put her in Tunkhannock by me. Yeah,
put her in
she'd be
Tunkhannock,
screwed.
she probably would be dead.
So they thought at one point they were going to have to cut her legs open to drain. Oh
My God.
She says, no one thought I was sick, but Dr. H saw how sick I was. And this is where Dr. H redeemed himself, in my opinion.
Me too.
Because she said she was desperate to stay on the show because don't forget, she thinks her cheating, lying husband, and she hinted at abuse too.
Yeah. Everything would change if she could just lose the weight.
She thought it was all her fault for being fat. That was it. And Dr. H said, you are not going out. You can go on the show. And he kind of said to her, stay here.
Yeah.
Stay on the show, but you're not allowed to exercise.
Right.
And he endeared himself to me there.
Yeah. He
'Cause
laid
he
down a
knew-
healthy boundary for her.
He knew that this was a healthier place for her than home,
Yeah.
but he also knew she couldn't do certain things.
Right. And all she was like, I don't want to go home because I know what's waiting for me there.
Yeah. Yeah. So they call the place they filmed this the ranch.
Fuck off.
For no reason, I have that note there.
Anytime anyone
Anything the
mentions a
ranch.
ranch, you get excited.
So now we're back with Danny, and he said he started at 430 pounds. And the first week, he lost 24 pounds and he was crying. The second week, 12 pounds. The third week, 4 pounds. So he was losing less and less and less and less. And then you're chasing that high, right? So then he starts eating only 800 calories.
Oh my God. I've been in this place.
Me too.
I've been in this place where I've been exercising 4 and 5 hours a day and capping myself at 700 calories. And you know what happens when you do that? You gain weight because your body goes into crisis.
Yeah. There was a point in my life where I was like, and it happened shortly after the girls were born, where I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like I can't, everything in my life was quantified.
Yes.
How much food I was putting in, how much I was walking, how much I was expending. Like I was counting everything.
Everything.
And I was like, I'm not present for my kids. I'm not present in my life. Like, I can't do this anymore.
By the way, we might want to put a warning at the beginning of this of discussions of disordered eating.
Oh yeah, I will. 100%. Oh yeah, 100%. So we see Bob and Jillian telling the contestants to ignore Dr. H. Don't listen to him.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. We're the ones who are here to help you. Jesus Christ.
Bob says Dr. H has a God complex. Really? Because you're the one coming off as somebody with the God complex.
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. H seems to have some level of humility.
He's like, no one was going to tell us what to do.
No, we're the
Okay,
trainers.
Bob Harper, calm the fuck down, dude.
Fuck off.
Danny says they were given stackers, which were caffeine pills, and the trainers were like, that's okay.
Sure. Great.
Dr. H was like, no. He didn't even want people having coffee.
I'm shocked that people weren't being like fed.
Me too. We don't know. Maybe.
We don't know. Maybe they were.
David Broom says, Jillian would never harm a contestant because I know her heart.
Oh, well, I know your heart now, dude, and it sucks.
And it was just her style, and we needed to embrace her style. Oh, so he thinks you should love people for who they are, except if they're fat.
Except if they're fat, and then we need to fix them.
Yeah, then they need to be fixed.
And really, what we should do is love people for who they are when who they are is an abusive monster.
Yeah. Aubrey says Jillian insulted people, period.
Yes.
She says once you're fat, people are allowed to treat you however they want, as long as it gets you to lose weight.
Yep.
Yeah. Danny says Tracy came back and she became sort of an agent of chaos. They didn't really get into what exactly was happening here.
Yeah.
I was a little confused. Like everybody hated Tracy suddenly. And I don't know why. I think it was maybe because she wasn't losing weight and helping her team.
She wasn't helping her team. She was, I think, existing under different rules than everybody else because of the exercise restrictions. And this is a cutthroat competition show. And she wasn't pulling her weight in it.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, she's getting treated by Dr. H and following his rules, and she loses weight.
Yes.
And Bob and Jillian don't even clap for her.
They can't even deal with it because it's not because she's been tortured into, running around like a lunatic.
Now, Aubrey Gordon, again, I can't say enough about what she says and how she just speaks direct. She just puts a string in a can right into my heart and talks right into it. Mm-hmm. She says, there's a thing fat people talk about, which is this weird combination of being invisible, which you and I talk about all the time.
Yes.
But also being hyper fixated on and stared at. Yes.
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 And she says the show wanted to do deep emotional work, but not with credentialed people.
Right. They did no emotional work.
No.
And I let's go back to the invisible versus under scrutiny.
Yeah.
What I think it is we're invisible in every way except to mock.
Yeah, we're objectified.
We're objectified. Mm-hmm. We're not people.
Right.
We're not people with feelings and experiences. And, again, I hate to try to assess things based on memes. But I remember seeing a meme that said, anytime you tell someone that they look great because they've lost weight, you could be telling a cancer patient that.
Right.
You could be telling somebody who is in the worst shape of their life that.
Don't apologize for talking about memes, because when you are a fat person, just like, if you have anything you're insecure about, when you see memes about it, that is part of a cultural conversation.
Yes.
And it triggers something in you. It does. I told you this story before. I have a Facebook friend, who shared something that was just so anti-fat. It was disgusting. And it was basically a picture of a human body with all the fat parts highlighted. And it said, here's what the human body looks like when you're overweight. How could you be doing this to yourself? Live healthier, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
And it has taken everything in me to this day. I still think about that. And that was a couple of years ago.
Right.
To this day, I still want to say something to her about that.
You should.
And if I see her out, I probably will.
Yeah.
I don't want to start a war on Facebook.
Right.
But if I see her out, I probably will say something, because I felt shame. Mm-hmm. I felt, you know what I mean? It just was wow, this is what you think. Because
this is what you think of me.
Again, if somebody is talking about fat people in a bad way and you are a fat person, even if you're their friend,
yes,
you're this must be what you think of me. It would be like if I was sitting with you, Amanda, and just talking about how much I hated people who had tuxedo cats. Right. They're so obnoxious with these cats. I just fucking hate them. You'd be like,
You're talking about me. I mean, this is literally the origin of Aubrey Gordon's work.
Yeah.
Explaining to your friend, when you talk terribly about yourself because of your weight and I'm bigger than you, I know what you're saying about me, even if you're not saying it.
And when you are a little girl and you are growing up and your mother is talking about fat women and herself as fat and how it's the absolute worst fate that she could face.
Yes.
What does that tell you about you?
Right.
It's a cycle of, and it's mostly women. I'm calling out women because it's mostly women.
It's mostly women. But when people are talking about fat people only in terms of they are lazy, they are stupid, they aren't trying, they aren't motivated, they don't care about themselves, they hate themselves. It's a conversation we had when we were talking about your fat friend. It's, for me, I really am beginning to believe it's not the fact that I was fat. It's the fact that what people told me about myself because I was fat.
Yes.
That's the problem.
And I want to clarify what I said about it being mostly women. It's women talking about their own bodies.
Yes.
Men talk plenty about people being fat.
Yes.
But the real harm is done when a woman, so in other words, say me as a mother of two daughters, I might not think, and I'm having this conversation for people who maybe haven't lived a fat experience.
Right.
I may not think it's a big deal to be sitting around all the time like, ugh, I need to lose weight. I can't get in this dress.
Right.
Oh my God, look at my belly. I got to da-da-da. My daughters are hearing that.
Yes.
And they're hearing their mother complain about her body. And this is what Aubrey Gordon talks about in Your Fat Friend with her mother.
Yes.
And so it's just this idea that like, I lost a friend over this. I had a conversation with a friend where I was like, you need to stop talking about your body and how much you hate it and how disgusting it is.
Right.
Because I'm sitting here next to you, double your size.
Yes.
So what do you think of my body?
Yep.
Anyway, okay. I was on a whole rant there. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, Olivia Ward is season 11 winner and Hannah is her younger sister and was a season 11 runner-up. The two sisters have an interesting dynamic because Hannah didn't grow up fat.
Right.
She was an athlete and she fell in her freshman year of college, had emergency surgery and gained 100 pounds in a year. And I feel like that's similar to my experience. Like I wasn't a fat kid.
Yeah.
But it's almost worse because when you are really thin and then all of a sudden really fat, something's broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something broke.
Yeah.
And
something happened.
And you know what it feels like to be socially of value and then to be socially not of value.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. I have to imagine it is. Well,
because I really started gaining weight when I was like 15.
I was told I was fat.
But you weren't.
When I go back and look at photos, I wasn't really. I wasn't skinny, but I wasn't fat. And it really wasn't until high school that I went from a smaller fat person to like just went up.
Because you were probably dieting.
Oh, well, I started dieting at 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Fucking up that metabolism.
I was on weight. I joined Weight Watchers at 10.
Yeah. I was probably the size of my girls for most of my life.
Wow.
Or for most of my childhood, I mean.
Right.
And then when I hit puberty, I think it's from having PCOS. Like it just, it totally changed.
Yep.
Totally changed. So JD Roth says, I'm sorry. The one thing I want to bring up, and this is an experience that I had with my sister after I wrote Fat Girl Skinny. Remember I told you that she said to me, I could not believe, because my sister's always been very thin.
Yep.
I could not believe how people treated you. Like she had no idea after she read my book. She was stunned. Yeah. And that's how Hannah was here.
Right.
Hannah said to Olivia, like, once I gained weight, I was stunned
at how
to see how people treated you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Because now they're treating me that way.
Yeah. So they went on The Biggest Loser together. And JD Roth says, you only have like 80 to 100 pounds to lose. Like, this really might not be the show for you. Like, we need you to be grossly overweight so that we could, really break you down.
You're not really entertaining enough in your weight for this to be fun.
Olivia kind of broke my heart because she said she wanted a baby and was told her weight was the problem. Yeah. As so many women are. Joelle says, I was battling personal things and Bob was not the right person to deal with me. No, Bob doesn't give a fuck about you, Joelle.
No, all Bob wants to do is make you look like a success story. And the success is the numbers dropping on the scale. The way he treated her on that treadmill was so fucking awful.
I agree.
And the fact that he looks back on this and has absolutely no regret.
No. He doesn't give a shit. He thinks he did something good.
Yeah. That's what
the only
me really
time
upset.
he can think about being like a fat person is when he had a heart attack.
Right. And wow, that must have been scary.
All right. Nobody's running around saying you had a heart attack of your own fault.
No.
That's the difference.
Yep.
Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. So Joelle says she spent a lot of time with Bob, and Bob said, I was trying to help her. But one night they had to run for like 30 seconds on the treadmill, and Joelle was quitting, and she and Bob get into a screaming match.
I would have too.
I love her because she's like, fuck you, Bob Harper, and your little dog too. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Joelle somehow became a bad guy on the show, and I don't know what happened. So Tracy got voted out as well, and she goes home, and she said, I knew my marriage was over the minute I got off that plane, and because they insisted on flying her home, which was super weird.
It was super weird, but I appreciated her going, I knew this was the last photo of my family together.
Yeah.
And good for her. I'm glad this helped her get out of a shitty marriage.
Yeah. And this is where the documentary kind of falls apart because it's just, and this happened to this person and this, like there's no cohesive
story
through line. Yeah. So we meet Susie Macadona. She is a season 2 contestant. She is a New York City police officer. She says she worked through ground zero. She says as a woman, she was treated horribly.
I'm sure. I mean, being a woman in
a man's world
is
tough.
world is so hard. And that's 25 years ago.
Yeah. She gets into a bad car accident and she started gaining weight because she was immobile.
Yeah.
She goes on the show and they encourage her to gain a little bit more weight before you go on the show. Just to, up the stakes here.
That's like people who want weight loss surgery. They're like, well, you're just kind of on the border. If you gain 10 pounds, then you're definitely over the edge and then we can do it.
Yep. Tracy, meanwhile, is asked to do some talk shows as a part of PR for the show. And Jay Leno is fucking gross. I hate Jay Leno anyway. You guys know I have a weird knowledge of the late night wars. Right. I hate Jay Leno. Hate him for what he did to Conan O'Brien. I'll never forgive him.
There's nothing remotely positive about Jay Leno. No. I do not care for him.
He has her sit there while he reads her hate mail because that's what a fat person needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. People in the comments on Facebook, Amanda, want to kill her.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
dude, I have had people match with me on dating apps in my dating times, literally to tell me how gross they think I am and how they hope I die because I'm fat.
Here's an example. I will put out social media stuff of you and I, and we'll be shit talking somebody.
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah.
Kim Plath, somebody. How many other podcasters do we know talk shit about those same people?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You and I get the comments about us being ugly and fat.
Yep.
Nobody else. They're not commenting that on Ace and Caitlin's.
Nope. They're not commenting that on Jake and Matt.
Nope. We get it.
We get it because we're the fat girls.
Yep. And I just, whatever. Fuck off.
I know. At this point, it just rolls my eyes to it, but you are right.
Yeah. Yep. So she says Dr. H would call her and keep encouraging her. Mm-hmm. And that was lovely. I'm telling you, Dr. H won me over.
He won me over.
He didn't do the right thing at the time he needed to.
Right, but he's come around and there's more good than bad.
Yes, I agree. Jay Leno asks her what she weighed, Amanda. And when she says 254, he goes, ugh. I want to put him in a dark room and make scary noises and
scare him to death.
Have ghosts haunt him.
Wow, that's an innocuous, terrible thing to do to somebody. What you really want to do is the Martha Lipnack revenge treatment.
Ooh, which is what?
All she ever wants to do when someone has wronged somebody, particularly me, is I want to go let the air out of all 4 of their tires. It's not permanent damage, but it's so annoying. That it's something someone has to deal with. One tire's not enough because you probably have a spare and you could go quickly about your day. Yeah. Taking the air out of 4 tires is her
and you also can't drive the car to a place to get it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's her that's as evil as my mother gets.
I go the other route and I think I want to sign them up for every mail list, spam list.
Like people do with you with guns.
Yes. Yeah. People do it with me all the time. Yep. So Jennifer Kern was a doctor, and when she was in medical school, someone made a comment about fat people being gross having sex, and it affected her so deeply she applied to the show. And I wrote here, I liked how she said she faced an additional stigma being an overweight doctor.
Yeah.
That was interesting. It's kind of like this the onus we place on therapists that they have to have a perfect life in order to give therapy to other people. Right. And that is not true.
No. Mm-mm.
So she talks about being shoved in a desk, and I felt this.
I did too.
There were so many classes when I was an undergrad that I would seek out the classrooms.
Yes.
And make sure they had the desks that opened and closed that I would be able to fit in them.
Versus the armrest that came down like a airplane tray.
Yep. So Danny lost she did say Dr. H invited her to work on the show and gave her a job. Mm-hmm. And she said there was always tension between Dr. H and the producers. Good.
Yeah.
Danny lost 239 pounds, looked like a completely different person. He goes on the doctors. He gets skin removal surgery. Like it's a journey for him.
Yeah. He's the success story.
And it's not even 2 years later and he begins putting a lot of weight back on.
Yeah.
The New York Times now comes out with an article basically saying that some scientists have studied contestants from the show and say their metabolism has been destroyed from the show.
I'm sure it has.
They do point out that the study's not perfect. First of all, the sample size is so small.
And there's no control.
There's no control group. Right.
Yeah.
So Dr. H is really upset because he feels like it was his responsibility to help these people and he didn't. Mm-hmm. That is what accountability looks like.
Yes. He's had a real reckoning about his experience and his contribution to this.
Yeah.
Again, not perfect, but like you can tell he's done some work around this.
I agree. David Broom is just like, oh, I want to make sure that this is accurate before, we make any changes.
Right. Exactly. Fuck off.
Fuck off, dude. Tracy says, I feel bad for her because she's still in it. Mm-hmm. No, we ruined our metabolisms because we're fat.
No, girl. You ruined your metabolisms because you were put into a torture chamber where the lone outcome was going to be to ruin your metabolism.
And the minute you went on your first crash diet at probably 12 is when you ruined your metabolism.
Yeah.
Ryan also says, this is on me. And he cries saying, I feel like a failure.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. How many times in my life have I lost weight and then gained it back and all I've done is felt like a failure?
Yeah. So one thing I do agree with Bob Harper on, never thought I'd say this, is he says, if you have struggled with your weight in your life, you will never get that monkey off your back and it sucks. And he's right.
He's right.
It is a forever struggle.
Even when you lose the weight, it is still there all the time.
Mm-hmm. Susie says she came back with an eating disorder. And she talks about how she was in her class and they would pull her out randomly to weigh her in front of all the men.
Yeah.
Wow. Dr. Jen Kern says people cannot maintain that level of exercise unless they are a pro athlete, and they are not.
Right. And also let's talk about the fact that we're giving these people 30 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. Of all of this support, which is terrible support, but whatever.
Sure.
And then we're just sending them home.
Yes. And
it's like Dr. Phil sending you to rehab for a week and then you're on your fucking own.
And this is my note too. Like they have jobs. They have families.
Yes.
They don't have 7 hours a day to exercise.
Yes. Yes.
It's so unrealistic.
It's like the thing that we would talk about. I mean, Oprah's relationship with her weight is infamous.
Yeah.
In our lore. And I remember the thing that people would say all the time is like, well, if I had a personal chef, a personal trainer, a personal blah, 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 if I had all of the resources she had, I too could probably live this life.
But she still
kept gaining and losing weight.
Right.
Even with all the tools in the world, this system is fucked up and rigged against you.
And a generation of young women watched Oprah struggle with her weight and internalized all of that.
Yes.
The show grows and they merchandise everything. And Danny says, I wanted them to invest some of that money into aftercare. But Broom is like, oh, NBC's not going to do that. And you think I'm going to give up my EP budget?
No.
Fuck you guys. Yeah. Fuck you fatties.
You can go figure it out yourself.
Joelle had several back injuries and reached out to them several times. And Broom's like, I never got those calls, but she can call me now. I'd be happy to take that call. Fuck off. So a few of them reach out to the New York Post because they're frustrated.
Yeah. Joelle's like, I'd like to burn this down a little bit.
Yeah. They spill everything. They tell them that the trainers were giving them drugs. Bob is appalled, Amanda.
Appalled.
Dr. H says the New York Post took some advantage of these people. And Joelle agrees. And she said it was way more salacious than she had intended. Yeah, it's the New York Post. Mm-hmm. It's kind of what they do.
Yeah, girl. You want your story told in a serious manner. The New York Post is not the place to go. But I get if you're not a media savvy person, you don't know that.
Correct. So the LAPD is called in and they investigate. And eventually Jillian is forced to admit on the show that she has given contestants caffeine pills. Mm-hmm. But Amanda, who's penalized for it? The team of fat people.
Right. And she's sitting there. She goes, well, caffeine pills are better for you than just drinking so much coffee.
Why would you penalize the contestants
versus the person who's the? Why are you penalizing the
victim?
The victims versus the dealer.
Okay. Allison Sweeney has to handle this on air again. Just crickets.
Yeah.
When they show her. She's got nothing to add to this.
Right.
JD Roth is like, oh, I left after season 12. So, that's when all the bad stuff happened and I wasn't there. No, dude, you created this fucking monster. Get right back in that seat and talk about it.
Yes.
Broom is like, caffeine is not crack. Come on, people.
Jesus Christ. Anything like this in excess is not good for you.
Dr. H very politely says, Jillian hated me and ignored me.
I'm sure she did because he was trying to hold her accountable.
Yeah. Now we get the case of Rachel F. This is tough.
This is tough.
She was on finale with a bunch of alum and she comes out and she's too thin.
She's emaciated.
And I just wrote the line that we have to walk as women. Now she's too thin.
Right.
Too thin, too fat.
You can't win.
have to, yeah. Bob and Jillian, their faces they're just horrified.
She looks very ill.
Yeah. Aubrey Gordon. People took, because everyone's up in arms over this. Oh my God, she went too far. Oh my God, because it's her fault again.
Right.
So Aubrey Gordon says people took Rachel's body as someone who took it too far instead of saying this is someone who took the show's intended message to heart.
Yes. She did what they told her to do.
Jillian leaves the show because of this.
Oh, so brave.
Broom says, we did what we could, but we made mistakes. And Aubrey Gordon says all of this together, Rachel, the New York Post, the drug scandal, it's all adding up to a mounting critique of the show. Mm-hmm. And I would argue culture was changing. Culture was shifting.
Yeah.
And the show is canceled after season 17. In 2017, Bob Harper has a very serious heart attack in a gym. He was dead in the gym and only survived because a doctor happened to be in that gym. Now, if Bob Harper was fat, what would they be saying, Amanda?
He died because he was fat.
Yeah, he had a heart attack because he was fat.
Yep.
But no, he was thin and healthy and in a gym and had a heart attack.
Right.
He starts to tear up about how he had to change his whole life, just like those fatties.
I have a friend who I know, if you were to line up her blood work and her EKG, like all the tests that one could do, line up all of her blood work, all of those tests, and line up all of mine, and don't tell you anything else about us, you would think she is the fat one and not me. Because
health is not necessarily weight.
No, and she's just kind of genetically fucked, and she deals with it and, works with it, and we'll sit there and be like, everyone in my family's has incredibly high cholesterol, and no matter what I eat, she's doing all the quote unquote right things. She's tending to her health. But if you just look at these pieces of paper, I'm the healthy one. She's the unhealthy one. If you stood the two of us next to each other, I'd be the one who was told I'm going to die.
And I'm not saying that being fat is healthy.
No.
I'm not saying that. But
it
healthy
doesn't mean you're
fat
unhealthy.
people can be healthy.
Yes.
Right. Yes. It's like we just, health is a separate thing.
Yes.
Like health is health.
Health is
and
health.
weight is weight.
Yes.
And they're different.
Yes.
And I think
correlation and causation are not the same thing.
Exactly. Thank you. You say it much better than I do. So Broom says if he did this show today, he would have the balls not to put a prize on it.
Oh, aren't you brave?
The prize was a problem, but it wasn't the only problem, dude.
It's a problem, but I'm going to put that at like 5 or 6 on the list of problems, not number 1.
Yeah. Bob is on Watch What Happens Live. Andy Cohen just loves Bob Harper. Hug, 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 hug.
Starts crying, looking at him.
Yep. He says, I never even heard from Jillian.
Oh,
Jillian's a bitch.
Oh, who knew?
Now, at the end, I thought it was interesting because they do talk about Ozempic. Mm-hmm. I thought this was really interesting. So,
I do too.
Danny says, when I'm confused about something, I check in with Jillian Michaels because her point of view is usually the right one, and I believe what she says. What?
The fuck are you talking about?
So we see Jillian Michaels, and she is on. Okay, we need to talk about Bill Maher for a second because there was a time in my life where I really liked Bill Maher.
Bill Maher is an incredibly complicated historical figure because for a period of time, he was on the right side of many
everything.
things.
Many
Not
things.
everything.
Many things. Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah. Many
always
things.
had fat phobia.
And he always yes, and he was always not good to women. I believe.
I believe.
Yep. So he has Jillian Michaels on this show, and she's talking about Ozempic, and Bill Maher's really, like you said, fat phobic, terribly. I mean, the one thing he would always go after Chris Christie and Trump for was weight.
Was their weight, and he's a vegan, and he's just, he's so radicalized around food and bodies. It's bad.
So she is saying about Ozempic, you'll never get off this stuff. You'll never recover. There are gastrointestinal issues. And I want to talk about this because you and I have both talked openly about this many times. I really struggled with the decision to go on a GLP-1. Really struggled with it.
So did I.
And it came down to an issue of mobility with me. But I still struggle with it because I was on Mounjaro and it was giving me a lot of anxiety. Yes. I'm now on something else. I don't know what.
Are you on semaglutide now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Ozempic.
Yeah.
Mounjaro is Cherzerbertine.
Yeah,
I can never say properly.
My insurance doesn't cover it, so I have to get the cheapest one, which is So I'm on that. It seems to be better. But here's the thing. They have started to do a lot of research on these drugs and found out they're good for your heart. They're good for your metabolism. Like they just have a lot of added benefits that they didn't realize.
We all need the lizard spit.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, Jillian's like, you can never get off it. Well, I mean, I would argue, and she's like, say you're on for 20 years and then you get off it and you start putting weight back on, blah, blah, blah. I would argue that then you had a healthy 20 years.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Where you felt good, you felt maybe mobile, like whatever your reason for going on it is. I don't know. I have a very complicated relationship with my weight, my body. I don't have it perfect.
Same.
I know many of our listeners are struggling with these decisions too, because I felt guilty about it. I was like, I'm buying into diet culture if I'm doing this.
Yeah.
But I have tried to lose weight in other ways, every way. And I honestly think and I'm talking about my body only, for my mobility and my, you know what I mean? Like I needed to do something. And this was it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And I'm also borderline type 2 diabetic, like very borderline.
Yeah.
So I think, you know,
I said too.
Yeah, I said to my doctor, I said, I really have a lot of inflammation when I'm not on this drug. Like I tried to go off it for like a couple months and I was really inflamed. It had nothing to do with the number on a scale because I really don't weigh myself.
Right.
But I was inflamed.
Your joints were in pain. Like you were all, every morning you were like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, Jillian Michaels can keep her opinions to herself because everybody's decision of what they want to do with the GLP-1 or whatever it is, exercise, losing weight, gaining weight, it is their business.
Yes.
And somebody who's never had to deal with weight in her life that we know of.
Right.
Why were they even talking about it?
And why are you somebody who sit there and literally abused people and put them in incredibly dangerous situations?
Yeah.
Trying to school somebody on something else.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It's just, I don't know.
I hate these people so much.
The bottom line is everybody has to do what's right for their own body.
Yes.
And we have to accept, like, we really have to just, I don't even want to use the word accept. We have to not judge other people on what their bodies look like, period.
Agreed.
Because we don't know. Like the minute I said that sentence, I was like, wait a minute, maybe Jillian did suffer with body image or weight or, you know, you don't know what another person's struggle is.
I'm going to say she struggled with body image because I think you're going to be hard pressed to find any woman ever who has not struggled with body image.
Right.
Full stop.
So Susie says, look, I did the GLP-1s. It's a healthy choice for me. I made the decision for myself. Joelle says it has been a game changer in getting rid of food noise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't forget, too, that many people are operating in a system where our food is designed to be addictive.
Yes.
So we are operating in a system that is designed against us.
Correct.
Yeah. Dr. H says, we've had miracle pills before. And he says fen and rattles off a couple other things. And he says it will take a while to make sure this is safe.
Okay.
I just want to push back on this for 1 second because GLP-1s have been around for a very long time.
Yes. Peptides have been around for a long time.
Yeah. And they've been tested many times.
Yeah.
Broom says, like I said, he wouldn't put the prize on this. Now, Amanda, would this have been different if there wasn't a prize at the end?
No.
I mean, maybe slightly.
Slightly.
But it still wouldn't, like, people would still be competing to lose the most weight.
Right.
There is still, it's
That's the
gamification. Right.
Yes.
There's still a thing at the end to win or lose.
Yes.
So Danny says today he would lose weight. He wants to lose weight with his wife for their health. And that is the best way to approach it.
Yeah.
He says he was nervous about doing this documentary, but he really thought that he needed to speak out and that people would relate.
Yeah. I'm glad he was here. I thought he was an important voice in this story.
I agree.
Plus, I just kind of liked him.
I liked him too.
Do you know who he looked like?
Who?
Bernie.
From
Paige and Bernie.
Sister Wife? Yeah, you're right.
He looks like him.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Tracy basically says the show didn't change my life. I did.
Yes.
And she's pretty tight with Dr. H.
She is. She ran a marathon with him.
Mm-hmm. Dr. H sued the Post and Joelle for defamation. And at the end, we get the black screen of death, and it tells us in 2004, 32% of Americans were obese. And by 2025, that number was 45%.
Okay.
I feel like I talked way too much during this episode. I'm sorry.
You did not. No, you were great. And because all I would do is sit there and go, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
I want us all to get to a point where, like, just don't make people live in shame. That's all. And
shame doesn't work for anybody for anything.
It doesn't work. And if you love somebody and you're worried about their weight, they know they're overweight. You don't have to say it. They know you love them. Just love them. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
You don't need to say anything.
We don't need to talk about people's bodies. Full stop. Let's just stop.
Yeah. Like, do you really think I was sitting around at 300 pounds and when my mom was like, Amy, we're really concerned about your weight. I was like, what? Why? Do I have a weight problem?
Right. Like, fuck off.
And as for the GLP-1s, I don't want anyone to feel any judgment from me at all what I'm saying. Like, you have to do what's right for your body, for your reasons, and it's nobody else's business.
Yep, you do you.
Yeah. All right, I think we've said it all. Jesus Christ. I do want to end on this, though. I am glad that we are having these conversations.
Me too. I'm glad we're looking back and going, this wasn't right.
Because like I've said many times, my daughters are growing up in a very different world than I grew up in.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that. Is there still fat phobia? 100%.
Yes.
But we're recognizing it. We're calling it out. We're not letting it control us. We're not, you know what I mean?
Yep. Agreed.
I don't know. And Aubrey Gordon is a big voice and a big reason and a big
I'm glad she was
this
in
conversation.
This. I'm really glad she was in
that was so smart to have her in this. I would have liked an ending note with her. Mm-hmm. Just a wrap up.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Fit for TV, the reality of The Biggest Loser.
Done. Check.
Done. All right, Amanda, anything else before we check out of here?
That's it. I'm
just
glad
guys.
we did this.
I am too. Thank you so much for listening. If you're interested in our other documentaries, we've done a ton on this feed. So just scroll back. An easy way to find our episodes is you can go to littlemissrecap.com, click on episodes, and there's a big old search bar.
Yes.
And you could type in documentary, because when I name documentaries,
you put it in the title.
I always put it in the title.
Yep.
And you can find all of our stuff there. Okay. And if you just want to listen to us talk about trash TV, well, you're in the right place.
Yep. We got you covered there too.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Amanda, thank you.
Amy, thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Little Miss Recap. If you'd like to support the show, the best way you can do that is to join our Twin Flame universe, which is our Patreon, Supercast, and Apple subscription feeds. The links for those are in the show notes. You get ad-free episodes and a ton of bonus content. You can also subscribe to the feed so you don't miss an episode, share the show with a friend, and leave a 5-star review. To contact the show, please email me directly at amy@littlemissrecap.com or join our Facebook group, Backdoor Friends. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.